Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. Oops, I'm talking again. We are gonna try and record this podcast in about 1 hour, which I feel like is gonna be absolutely impossible. I want to record it before John gets back into town. He is getting back from another bachelor party. He was at a bachelor party last weekend also. He was in charge of like planning both of them, and he picked the exact same bachelor party for both wedding parties. Which, whatever. It's like there's a nice golf course there, I think, but it's like kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I just thought it was funny that he picked the exact same location. But I don't like talking. Like, I don't want to sit and do my podcast whenever he's sitting right next to me. So I think that I'll do better with him not here. And I'm sorry, Callan is here. He will be in the background probably the whole entire time. So if babies annoy you, just don't listen to this probably. But today's podcast is going to be a Q&A. A couple of days ago, I asked my followers on Snapchat to ask me a bunch of questions that I'm going to cover on my podcast, and you guys came up with a lot of really good ones. And I don't know how I'm going to do them in 1 hour. I feel like this could take me 5 hours because I could talk on each subject probably for an hour, but we're going to try and just like cram them together, and then eventually later down the road with my podcast I'll probably talk about this stuff again. But today, another goal of mine is to not edit this podcast at all. I actually got some feedback and somebody said they enjoyed my podcast, but they didn't like how much I edited it. But my last podcast that I recorded, you guys, was like an hour and 45-minute long recording. But there were so many times I had to leave the room, go like soothe Callan. He was crying, or I had to like feed him. And so there was like 5 minutes of complete silence. So I had to edit it. And the app that I use, like I haven't quite figured out how to like edit it more smoothly. Like it was kind of choppy because it does it for you. I don't know. But even if there's moments where I have to like go and tend to Callan and stuff, I'm just going to leave it in. So I'm sorry about that. But that's one thing with podcasts. You aren't really supposed to edit them. And so I need to get used to that. I eventually will be like filming this also and uploading it to YouTube. So I will be uploading me talking and you'll see me in my studio. But right now I don't have a studio set up. I have all of my gear for it, but I have to wait until I have my garage built because the room that I'm using has so much crap in it. And it's going to probably be another 2 months. So for now, I'm just recording on my phone. So I'm sorry if the audio is not the greatest. But let's get started. The first question, why am I closing my daycare? The short answer of this is I want to be a mom and a mom only. I want to put all of my time and energy into Callan and my future children. All of my time and energy right now, obviously a lot of it goes to my own baby, but so much of it goes into my daycare. It's a very, very, what's the word? It's a draining job. It's a rewarding job. I love my daycare kids so much. And this was a hard decision, but it was also a very, very easy decision. My whole life, I wanted to be a mom. And I don't know, like, I'm just trying to word this correctly. I have enjoyed being a daycare provider. I absolutely love my kids, but it is also a very isolating job. And I'm a very social person. And a lot of people are like, gosh, imagine how lonely you're going to be or like isolated you're going to be whenever you become a stay-at-home mom, or how cooped up you're going to get. And I'm like, with daycare, I am there with 6 to 10 kids plus my own child, but I cannot leave. And I don't have any other adults with me, so I'm with just children all day long. And for some people, they probably love that, but that's very hard for me. That's probably the hardest part of my job, is not being with adults and not having the freedom to leave if I want to, especially in the wintertime whenever you can't really go outside, or it's negative 30 degrees out and you can't put all of the kids in snowsuits and go outside. And if you do get outside, you're out there for 5 minutes before a child starts crying or pees their pants or something happens. But with us being a stay-at-home mom, I can leave my house. I can bring Callan to the science museum. I can bring him to mommy and me classes. We can do so many different things. I can meet up with other moms. I can go and visit my mom and her daycare kids. And I live pretty close to my mom, so there's going to be days where I'm going to go over to my mom's house. And I've already talked about this on TikTok. I haven't talked about it on like Instagram or YouTube or Facebook at all. So really only my followers on TikTok and Snapchat know that I'm quitting daycare to be a mom full time. And everybody, I've gotten a lot of backlash saying like, every influencer or content creator ends up quitting their job and whatever. But I'm sorry, if you were in my position and you had the financial freedom to quit your job, I'm sure you would. But some people are very passionate about their jobs, like, and I was at one point passionate about daycare, but like lately I've been so burnt out, and I've only been doing it for 3 years. 3 years and I'm burnt out, you guys. That's not like, I don't know. Oh, Callan's getting fussy, but it's okay, buddy. But what was I talking about? Um, Oh, I realized shortly after opening my daycare that I wouldn't want to do it like long term, but I thought that I would at least do it until my own children went to kindergarten or school or something. But because of social media and having an income through social media, I am able to quit. But even I've said this on TikTok, even if I didn't have my income through social media, John and I would figure it out to where I could be a stay-at-home mom with just his income. Like, we would figure it out. We would make some changes. We would get cheaper vehicles. We would use coupons more. We would get less groceries or cheaper meals. Like, you would figure it out. Right now, I told myself whenever I open my daycare, actually, my mom told me, if there ever comes a point where you're putting your daycare or your daycare families and stuff before your own, you just need to quit because your family should come first always. And that's very true. And I still was like giving Callan all my energy, and it didn't get to the point where I like resented him or was annoyed with him or anything. But I mean, there were a couple of days I feel like in the winter time, whenever I got home and like he was fussy or something, and I'd be like, all right, John, it's your turn to take care of him. I've been with him all day. And I know that's going to happen whenever I become a stay-at-home mom also. Like, there's going to be days that happens. But I'm not going to have 7 other children that I'm taking care of all day plus my own. I will be putting it just towards my own child. See, you guys, we're 7 minutes in, and I feel like I could talk about this topic. It's in its own for another 45 minutes. So we're going to move on to the next question. But in all, I just want to be a mom. I want to focus and put all of my time and energy into my own children. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I love my daycare kids. Don't get me wrong, but I am burnt out. I am ready for a change. And if we didn't say that we didn't even make or John's income work, I would probably try and find like a part-time job or some other kind of job where we could make it work, or a stay-at-home type job. I don't know. I guess I don't know. But thankfully I have social media and you guys to make this work. Oh no. I did ask my mom this morning if she could watch Callan, but I'm like, I'm going to try and do it without bringing him to my mom's. Yeah, I think you're going to be okay, but I feel like you're tired. But if he hears me talking, he won't nap. Okay, next question. How many kids do John and I want? I want 4 kids and he wants 3 kids. Like, he grew up with 4, there was 4 siblings. He grew up with 4 of them, and he was like, and he liked that. Like, him and his brothers are really close. But he always just says, I think 3 is a good number. I feel like 4 could be like too many. But I also feel like since I have taken care of 10 kids many days in a row over and over, I'm like 4 does not seem like a lot to me, but I understand like vehicles, or whenever they start having friends over, like being able to fit all of their friends in our car too, the amount of like proms, weddings, buying them cars, like it does get to be more the more kids you have. But I also have the mindset of like, what if we don't have another kid? I'm never going to meet that child because I chose to stop. So I'll end up with 12 kids because I just have that mindset. I don't know. I think that we both right now agree 2 is not enough. 3 is a good number, but we may have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 12. So I would say we both agree we're going to go with 4. He wants 3, I want 4, so 4. Whatever I say goes, all right? How soon do we plan on having more kids? I have always said I want my children to be like 2, oh, really? 2, 3 years apart. So like whenever Callan is around 2 years old to start trying for a second child. But recently, I don't know, like after my last 4 weeks of my pregnancy, I was like, I'm never getting pregnant again. I was like, this is just miserable. I don't want to be pregnant for a long time. I just want to enjoy not being pregnant. And I actually had such an easy, amazing pregnancy, but just those last 4 weeks. And I think it was so much harder taking care of 10 kids while in my 3rd trimester. It was so hard. And I got absolutely ginormous. I had a 10-pound baby. So I was just large, guys, and taking kids like out of the high chair, picking them up, changing their diapers, it was so hard. I think if I didn't work and I was able to just like enjoy my pregnancy and not work, it would have been a little bit more enjoyable. But I was like, I think like a almost 3-year age gap between each child is good. We're young. I'm only 25, so I'm like, I have time to have age gaps between each child. But it's crazy how quickly you forget things. Because even after my C-section, I was like, we're one and done. I am not having another C-section. But my C-section, like pain and stuff, only lasted me like, I'd say a week. I didn't feel like myself. It probably took a little while, but I didn't need to take any pain meds and stuff after the 4th or 5th day. I'm going to make another podcast one day specifically about my birth plan. So we'll get into that another day. I could talk about that right now too, but we're going to try and stay focused, which is really hard for me. What was I talking about? What was the question? Oh, how soon we plan on having more kids. But it's crazy how quickly you can forget like the bad parts because the good parts like outweigh the bad. Like even now he's 7 months old and I'm like, maybe I could have them closer together. But I also really, really want to enjoy Callan, just him, like just him being a baby. He went out of here. He's in the little activity center. He's like, get me out of here, Mom. I'm tired. Are you tired? Yeah. But I really want to enjoy like him just being the little boy, and then whenever he gets to be more independent and is like potty trained, have another one. Oh, but I have these daycare kids at my at my daycare, and they are bonk. They are, I think, 15 or 16 months apart, and they're like best friends. And I'm like, oh, maybe that would be nice too. Like, and then on Friday, I only watched Callan and those 2 daycare kids. And so the age gaps are like 14, 15 months apart. I can't think right now. I'm not going to do the math. And then from the youngest boy to him, they're also like, I would have to get pregnant whenever he's like 10 months old if I wanted that age gap. And the little boy is so good with Callan. He plays with him. He loves him and he like helps me with things, gets him his nookie, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm like, maybe I want Callan to be that age whenever I have another baby. But, I think I've told John a million times, if I try and talk you into having a child before I am 2 years postpartum, don't talk me into it. And he's like, Hannah, I won't be able to do that. Like he'll say, yep, I'm ready. Like I guarantee you right now. Are you kidding me, you guys? John's chicken wings are in our entryway from a week ago. He lost them a week ago. He lost these chicken wings and he came home and he's like, Hannah, I packed up my Buffalo Wild Wings chicken wings this morning and I can't find them anywhere. So I didn't have lunch today. Well, I just found them. They are by his shoes. Anyway, shoot, what was I talking about? That threw me off. So there's probably moldy chicken in our living room right now. Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry. My mind, it's everywhere. I literally can't even remember what I was talking about. What's wrong with me? I have issues. Don't let John talk me into having a child earlier. But yes, if right now I said, John, I decided I really want them close together. Let's try for our next baby. He'd be like, all right, sounds good to me. We've both just really enjoyed parenthood or like motherhood, and Callan's been such an easy, like chill baby where we both would probably be okay if I got pregnant right now. But also like I'm past the point of like I would be really devastated if I got pregnant. But like whenever I was 3 months postpartum, I was like, if I got pregnant right now, I would actually be like devastated. I would bawl. I would love the baby, obviously, and we'd make it work. But I would have been very sad because I don't know. I just was not ready at that time. Okay, let's move on to the next one because I have like 14 questions to answer and I'm on question number 3. All right, question 4. Was it hard when I dropped out of nursing school when most of my friends were still in college? Not necessarily because my friends were still in college. I think what was hard was everybody in my nursing cohort, cohort class. Let's just say class because I'm dumb. My nursing class, they continued, and it wasn't hard until the day of graduation, the day that I was supposed to graduate nursing school. That's whenever it got hard and I saw all of them graduating. I bawled for the whole entire day. It was so hard for me and I wasn't expecting it because I'm like, I'm doing what's best for me. But then it got to a point where I'm like, maybe I didn't make the right decision. Like maybe, I don't know. But also all of my friends like went to a university and I didn't. I went to community school and I don't know, I never felt like I was in school with them. So I feel like I was separated from them from the beginning. So it wasn't hard, but it was hard watching all of my classmates in my nursing cohort. That is the correct word. It's cohort, not cohort. um, continue. But I was very proud of them. But I also was like, why did I do that? Why did I drop out? Like I thought that I was doing the best thing for me, but then I realized but I really struggled with my first year of daycare. And that's whenever I would have been graduating nursing school. So I feel like the first like 6 months, I was like, what the hell did I do? Like, why did I do that? Like, what? I don't know. But anyway, next question. What's the hardest part about being a mom? Guys, I don't know if it's because I was a daycare provider or first before I became a mom or what, but I seriously have not found like any parts of motherhood hard at all. Like I adjusted so well. Same with John, like it came so naturally to him. Like for John, I guarantee you his answer would be like he's been more anxious about things. Like he got the postpartum anxiety and I didn't because he's never been around kids. So like everything worries him and like every little like he breathed weird, like something's wrong with him or he's eating too fast or is that normal? Is this normal? And like I never got that. I mean, obviously, like I would love to sleep through the night. Like he wakes up at 3 or 4 in the morning and I'm like, go back to bed. Like you don't need to eat. I think now it's just like a habit for him. Like he's not even hungry. He just is used to waking up and like, where's my mom? He's trying to crawl up the dog steps right now. Yeah, he's been crawling everywhere the last couple of weeks. Big boy. But I have found motherhood very easy, but I have also okay, the hardest part about being mom, honestly, is probably being a full-time daycare provider with being a mom on top of it. That's been hard, but like motherhood in general, if anything, my life has gotten better and more exciting and fun. But yeah, there's been times whenever he was younger where he would cry for no reason and I'd be like, "Why are you crying?" I mean, but also that never stressed me out. It was just like, "All right, we just got to ride this out." I just was so used to it with daycare, and I think that's why I truly think becoming a daycare provider before I became a mom made it so much easier. Next question. The most rewarding part about being a mom. Everything, like absolutely everything is rewarding. I like all of the milestones he hits, like watching him grow up, like becoming his own little self. He has such a big personality already. And it's so exciting. And watching John be the best dad and absolutely everything is rewarding in motherhood. In my opinion, I know everybody has a different opinion about that. Not everybody agrees with that, but I personally think every little tiny thing is so rewarding. I can't think of like one thing at the top of my head. I didn't really think these questions through before I started this podcast. Be careful, dude. You're going to roll off the stairs. Yep. See? You fell down. Fell down. I try not to like intervene with Callan if he's doing something like somewhat dangerous. They say let your children do dangerous things safely, if that makes sense. Like climbing these stairs. Obviously he's not on cement, so if he fell, there's a blanket on the floor, but he knows he's gonna fall. We actually just put a bunch of like bumpers and guards on, like child-proofed our whole entire living room because he's at the height now where if he like crawled into our coffee table, he would crack his head open because it's like sharp edges. But now he can roll wherever and he's not going to get hurt. But yeah, if he starts to fall, I just let him do it because he's got to learn how not to fall, how to catch himself. What's another question? Let's see. What made me, some of these are so random, like this has nothing to do with the stuff that I was talking about beforehand. What? You're fine. Need a drink of my bubbler. 1 minute. See? Like this is stuff that I would edit out before, but I guess you're not supposed to with podcasts. So you're going to hear me sniffle, drink drinks, probably burp a few times. Who knows what you're going to hear. What made me decide no birth control? So I'm not on birth control right now. And I posted a TikTok of me unboxing and like going through stuff that I got, and I got ovulation test strips, and some people were like, I'm curious why you decided no birth control. And this is probably controversial. I need to go back to school. Oh my gosh. Topic, because some people probably agree, some don't agree. I know some people think so many different things about it, but I was on birth control for probably 7 years. I was 15 when I got on birth control because I get ovarian cysts, and I had one the size of a cantaloupe rupture on my ovary. And they were like, the only thing that will stop them and like slow them down is birth control, which actually is not true. You like something that's really good for ovarian cysts that I just found out is like eating raw carrots, and it helps with like your estrogen balancing. Oh, Callan, he just puked on the floor, and of course he had food and not just breast milk. Don't play with it. Ew, ew. He's just playing with his puke. Hey, that's icky. That's icky. Don't play with your puke, okay? I'm going to have to put you back in the activity center because... And I should have known better. I usually don't let him roll around on his belly right after he eats until like a half hour later because then all the pressure on his belly, he throws up. Gross. Mommy has to clean the carpet now. I'm leaving this diaper wipe here so I know where to shampoo it. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, but they said that the only way that the cyst would stop is if I... Here, play with the piano. Is if I took birth control. And so I listened to them, obviously, and it did help, you guys. Like, whenever I was on my birth control, I never had a cyst, whatever. But then my hair started falling out. I had the thinnest hair ever. And then I was moody. I feel like that didn't really hit right away. Also, now that I think about it, I think that I was moody because I was in nursing school and it was so stressful. That was the most stressful time of my life. I have no idea if it had anything to do with my birth control, but maybe. Lots of other things played into it where the birth control, I feel like, was just like messing with my hormones. Things were going on that I didn't want to happen. Do you want to go in your playpen? Oh my gosh, I definitely should have brought you to Grandma's. Yes, I should have. Here, Mom will play in here with you, okay? Here, play with this. Sorry, guys. And then I also, like, there's a lot of things saying, like, birth control is a number one carcinogen, like, it can cause cancer and all this stuff, but there's, like, a couple of articles about that because it's not natural. But then there's also doctors that say it actually prevents ovarian and breast cancer, but then there's people that say it causes cancer. I don't know, but I'm like, you know what? There's other ways to make this work, but also since being postpartum, I have had 3 or 4 cysts rupture, and it has been absolutely horrible. I ended up in the ER for one of them because it was the worst pain I'd ever been in. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't walk. It was horrible, but also with a continuous, like I worded that wrong. If your cysts continue to rupture over and over, and your fallopian tubes can actually like become mush because of like the pressure and like them bursting and stuff. So then I'm like, gosh, maybe I should get back on birth control because obviously I'd rather be on birth control than never become a mom again because my fallopian tubes are mush. So if they continue over and over, which they didn't my last cycle, so hopefully we're on the rise. Okay. You know what? There is going to be editing in this podcast because I need to go try and put him down for a nap. So I'm going to cut out this next few minutes. Sorry. So yeah, it's just a personal thing. I am for now deciding no birth control. I might get on at a different time, but right now I am like, absolutely not. I don't want to. I'm going to try not to. I guess I'll be eating a lot of raw carrots. We'll see if that helps or works or what. But let's move on to the next topic. Let's see. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I see myself with 2 children, hopefully maybe planning to build our house. We want to build eventually. We say in the next 5-10 years we are going to stay at the house that we currently are in for probably until we have a third kid. We have enough bedrooms to have 2-3 kids here. Like, Callan's never even slept in his own bedroom, so I mean, they could share. And also, kids don't even know they're sharing a bedroom. They could share a bedroom until they're like in middle school, and they would never know. We could make this house work long term, but we don't want to. Like, we want to eventually build our dream house and stay there forever. We aren't people that want to like build a house, move, build a house, move, build a house, move. We really want to build a house and that be like our forever home, which you never know. You just never know what could happen in the future. But oh, the charger keeps going in and out. Hopefully my phone doesn't die while I'm recording this. What was I even talking about? Guys, if anything happens, I can't remember what I was talking about 2 seconds ago. Oh, where I see myself in the next 5 years. I see myself still not working, which content creation and that kind of stuff is a full-time job in itself. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize how much really goes into it. Like, it is a full-time job. A lot goes into it. And that is Callan. He's like, get me out of this crib. But he's tired and he refuses to fall asleep. We're going to let him fuss for at least 3 minutes. He gets spoiled and I always hold him for his nap, so he's like, why am I in here right now? But yeah, I don't see myself like working outside of content creation. Thankfully, that has been able to be, it will be able to be a full-time job with me. As long as I'm doing it and still posting, like that can be my job for the rest of my life because it brings in enough income. Where did I become a daycare provider? Oh, how did I become a daycare provider to begin with? So a lot of people are like, can you tell me the steps into becoming a daycare provider? And it varies from every single state. Like every state is so different. So it's hard for me to give like information or the rules and all that kind of stuff because I'm in Minnesota and like it's way different in like Oklahoma and a lot of places you can literally only have like 5 kids, I think. And here you can have like 10 to 12 to 14. It depends on your license. But we're going to have to edit this part out too. I got to go and tend to Callan one more time. He, I hope, falls asleep. Okay, I'm back. You guys, that took about 10 minutes, and I promise you, you don't want to sit and listen to silence for 10 minutes. So be lucky there's the editing option. Just for the future, hopefully I'm not editing, and hopefully I can just continue to talk and talk and talk. I don't plan on always having Callan with me. It's not often that John is gone. It just has happened that I started my podcast the weekend that he was gone. And then this weekend I really want to record a podcast at least once a week, if not twice a week. Like I definitely want to continue to put these out. But yeah, John's not gone like ever. Yeah. And next weekend, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law are getting married. So I might not have time to record a podcast next weekend. I might have to try and do it during the week or Sunday probably at some point. But I have a wedding coming up and it's going to be a busy, busy weekend. But yeah, either John will be watching Callan or doing something with him, or I will bring him to my parents. Like this isn't going to be a normal thing, but it's going to happen because I am a mom and yeah. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way that you hope. But what was I talking about before Callan started crying? I think that how I became a daycare provider to begin with. So I was born and raised in a daycare and I absolutely loved it. I loved being at my mom's daycare all the time. Like I loved helping out. Rue is here. She's been at my mom's all morning. That's my dog. Gotta go grab her. She goes back and forth all day because she has ADHD like me and she can't stay at one house or the other. Hi, Rue. Hi, Rue. Hi, Rue. Now, if you wake Callan up during his nap, I'm throwing you outside. Okay, calm down. So what I tell everybody if they want to start a daycare is, first off, you need to like look around. Like, does your house work for a daycare? Like, do you have the space for it? Do you have the resources for it? Like, is your spouse or partner like okay with you opening a daycare in your home? If you don't do it out of your home, like do you have the funds to rent a place or a place to even do it in? Like if you rent, a lot of like owners don't allow you to do a daycare out of there. So if you don't like own your home, it might not work for you. But the first thing that you need to do is find other daycare providers in your area and talk to them and ask them how they got started and like tips and tricks that they have for you. You need to email your county or your town's like licensor people. Usually that's on like a website and you can like find emails and stuff, or call the county building and they can point you in the right direction. But for me, my mom had me email my licensor people and I just said, hey, I am interested in opening an in-home daycare. Can you give me the information that I need? And they were like, yep, just give me your address and we'll send you like the booklet of everything that you're going to need. And my county's licensors are the nicest ladies ever. So nice, so informative. They reply to their emails quickly. They will give you all the information that you need. And I don't know if every county is like that. I have they're just amazing. But yeah, they sent me this big packet on everything that I'm going to need, like the square footage that you need indoors, the square footage that is outdoors, the type of like the fire, like, do you need a fire marshal? Do you need somebody to come and like look at your house? Like, it depends on how old your house is. I'm trying to think. Do you have enough toys for the kids? Do you have a space for them to all sleep? Do you have fire escapes in every single room? There's so much that goes into it. There's a lot of little tiny details. First aid, the trainings. You have to have trainings. Like I think it's 16 hours of continued education every single year. And then you have to do first aid and CPR every other year. And there's other things like shaken baby syndrome. I don't know. Head trauma, that kind of stuff that you have to like redo every year or every 2 years, I believe. But yeah, what I tell people is just contact daycare providers in your area, ask them for contact information or what they did, because every single state is very different. So you can't go off of what I do and what I did to open my daycare. I will say my number one biggest tip on opening a daycare: don't buy everything brand new like me. I literally went broke. I had $0 in my name and I like ended up having to ask for money from John, and it was so embarrassing. I felt so bad because I bought everything brand new. I was dumb. I was so dumb. Go to garage sales, ask for donations, post on your Facebook and ask, does anybody have any cheap toys or toys that they want to part with and I can buy from you or take off of your hands. Like, just don't buy things brand new, okay? Just get that stuff cheap because you don't need expensive, the top end stuff to open a daycare. But here's the thing with buying brand new, it really helps you with taxes at the end of the year. The more you put into your business, the more you buy into your business, the less money you're going to have to pay at the end of tax season. So I feel like a lot of people are like, you spend so much money. You are such a shopping addict. You have a problem. And I'm like, tax write-off. And I know you don't get refunded the whole entire 100%. People are like, it only helps you a little bit. You only get a certain percentage back. And it's like, well, no shit. Like, obviously, I'm not going to get 100% back just because it's a tax write-off, but it still helps you. And you still owe less at the end of the year if you buy more into your business, and it helps your business. And it, like, sure, I didn't need that $100 cute little play kitchen for my daycare kids, but they love it. It makes my business better and more fun, and my daycare kids love playing with it. And it also helped me during tax season. So yeah, buy the stuff. So I will say there are pros to buying brand new because it might last longer, or if you plan on doing your daycare for a long time, like, get the new stuff and you can always sell it at the end of the year. Oh, this wasn't one of the questions that I got asked. I mean, maybe it was, but I didn't look through every single one of them. People are like, but what are you going to do with all of your stuff whenever you close your daycare? Like, oh, I'm going to keep every single thing. No, I'm just kidding. But I plan on doing like a little kind of like garage sale type thing for daycare providers. Like, I'm going to post on I'm in this Facebook group chat with like just daycare providers in my town. And I'm going to post on there and like kind of give them first dibs. I'm also going to give my current daycare families first dibs on things that they want. Um, but I'm going to kind of do like a garage sale and like an open house, kind of like they can come to my daycare, buy whatever they want. I'm literally going to get rid of every single thing except for like some books, the TV, and the like playpen. Everything else I plan on like selling, and like the couch I have. But most of the stuff I plan on either, and if it doesn't sell, I'm going to donate it. Like, I don't want all that stuff. I have a crap ton of stuff at my daycare, and Callan already has all like his own toys, and I already have a bunch of stuff here. Like, we have a playpen at my house, but I want one for in our garage. So I'll take the one from my daycare for our garage. What makes me enjoy being a content creator despite all of the hate that I get? Thankfully, like, the hate comments have never really bothered me. Like, if somebody's like, you're ugly. You guys, I'm so scared that I just lost the first 45 minutes of my podcast. And if that happened, I might start crying because I'd have to restart completely, and I do not want to do that. But this app that I'm using, it's called Riverside, and it's just the first one that I downloaded it whenever I asked ChatGPT what to use to record my podcast. And I got it like stopped and said that something with my camera, and I don't know what happened to the first part of my recording, and if it didn't save, oh my gosh, I will absolutely cry. I really hope that I find a way to merge them together. I don't know how to use this app yet, and I just asked ChatGPT if you can combine two separate recordings in the app, and it says yes. So the only problem is I don't know if the first part of this podcast saved So you know what? We're just going to pick up. I'm doing a Q&A for this podcast, and either this is going to be the start of my podcast or the middle point of my podcast. So bear with me. Hopefully the first part saved. And oh my gosh, we're doing a Q&A. And we are going to go back to what we were talking about. We were talking about how I became a daycare provider to begin with. And oh, never mind. I already finished that question. We're on to what makes me enjoy being a content creator despite all the hate. And I was talking about how thankfully hate has really never bothered me. There are a few things that do bother me, and that is whenever people talk down on like John, like if they make comments about John, because John is the kindest, calmest, most patient, nicest human being on this planet. He does not get mad ever. And I've gotten comments about him before, and I'm just like, you don't talk about my husband that way because you do not know anything about him. Like there was one video I was cooking a meal and I think Callan was crying or fussing in the background and John happily, like smiling, was like, "Hey, Callan." And somebody commented like, "You tell your husband not to yell at him. There's no reason he needs to shout at him or yell at him or something." And I'm like, he did not yell at him. I have never in my whole entire 10 years of being with John have seen him yell at anybody. He has never yelled or even slightly raised his voice at me. He has like, he never gets mad at me. He is so freaking nice. You will never catch him getting mad at Callan. And if he does get mad at him, it will be like, "Hey buddy, we don't do that," or "This is what you need to do." He will be nice about it. He will never shout or yell at my children. And I'm so blessed to have a husband like him because I love that. I love that about him. That is such a good trait that he has. But like that irritated me, and I about went to war for him because I'm like, you do not ever talk negatively about the nicest man ever. I will, yeah, that pisses me off if you say anything about like I don't know, things about Callan, which thank God I like don't post him on social media at all. So like if any, like, okay, I posted a video a few months ago of the back of his head and somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, you need to pick up your kid. He has flat head. You don't ever hold him." Sure, he did have flat head, but we fixed it. I mean, it's still a little flat, still a little silly looking, but I still love him. But I still held my child. But like that stuff is just like, don't talk about my parenting. I'll get mad. Okay? Just don't talk negatively about me or my husband or my child and we will be fine. Actually, I don't care if you talk negatively about me. Just don't talk about my child or my husband or I will get pissed off. But I personally have always loved like filming and editing and like talking to people. So content creation is for me. Like I love content creation. I always have been like that. Even in high school, I was in my school's like film class and we like posted videos for people to watch every Wednesday, I think it was, in our homeroom. And I was always a part of that, like the filming part of it, the editing part of it, being in the videos. I just always enjoyed doing it. Not a lot of people do enjoy that, but I do. So like no matter what it is, I just love content and I'll always, I think, find it enjoyable. Recently I've been in a rut with like filming cooking and daycare content. Like I am ready to be away from that for a little bit. Like I haven't filmed any lunch videos or that kind of stuff for 2 weeks now because I've just been like in a rut and I'm so sick of the same exact content over and over. I like to switch it up. Like I want to be doing like unboxing videos or morning routines or meals for my husband and I, not just daycare and like what I do in a day. I don't know. Like I enjoy the cooking videos and stuff, but I don't want to do the exact same thing every single day or you get burnt out. But I just enjoy it and I like that you guys enjoy it and I like doing things to make other people happy. So yeah, I think that I'll always enjoy being a content creator. And you know what? Part of being a content creator is you're going to get a lot of hate and you just have to ignore it. I know it's hard for some people, but you just have to. Like, you're not, it's going to like completely destroy you if you let little things bother you. Like, you just have to realize that life is bigger and more than those negative, icky people behind the screen. Like, those people have nothing better to do and they obviously don't like themselves. So they have to put other people down. And you need to realize like it really shouldn't affect you. Like I don't know. You know yourself. The people that love you know you. And you just gotta move on, keep on going despite all of the hate. Rue is already ringing the bell to go outside because she's been in here long enough. She is a dog, but she still needs Adderall. Rue? Oh my gosh. And I guarantee you in 5 minutes she'll be scratching to come back inside. Okay, I'll put you outside, but I'm not going to just keep on letting you back in. Okay, outside. Go outside. Oh my gosh. She didn't ring the bell to go outside. Rang the bell to get CHICKEN. She loves that. We call it C words, so she doesn't know what we're talking about. No, I already know that grandma gave you C word. You are not getting more. No, that's enough. What's my biggest pet peeve? Whenever I read that comment first, right away I was like, chewing, breathing. I have misophonia, so like certain like sounds and like things that people do, specifically breathing and smacking your food, like you were not taught any kind of manners as a child if you chew with your mouth open. And I know too many people that chew with their mouth open. If that is you, start closing your lips. Now I understand if you cannot breathe out of your nose like my husband, you sometimes have to open your mouth, but there's a difference between like chewing and like opening your mouth to and then oh gosh, I'm gonna throw up even doing that myself. That pisses me off more than anything. Like that's what came to my head first is like just loud noises and people chewing and breathing and it like makes my skin crawl and I can't help it. Like it literally makes me rage. Like I could freak out. I have cried before listening to John breathe and eat. I'm like I always say it's a good thing that you're a nice man because I can't stand your breathing and your chewing. And then he went to a nose throat I don't know, one of those doctors, whatever they're called, to get like a camera up his nose, and they found out that both of his like the septum they broke and like split into both his nostrils, and they are splintered. And I'm sure it's because he was a wrestler, so like rolling around on the mat it like splintered the bones, and they're always like inflamed, so he can't breathe out of his nose. So like it's not his fault, but I have learned to just like not focus on it. Like it hasn't bothered me as much lately, but at one point like I'm literally like I can't be with you if you're gonna breathe like this. Sounds so mean, but if you don't have misophonia, you don't understand. Okay? So just don't judge me. And I feel horrible about it because I love him so much. But I also want to beat the crap out of him whenever he chews loudly and smacks and breathes like that. Anyway, but I would say my biggest pet peeve, like overall, besides that crap, is whenever people literally just crave drama or like everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. I could literally fight somebody. Like, it's like, do you ever have anything positive to say? And whenever you're around them, they like just drain everybody around them because all they can do is talk shit about people. That is my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, are you ever happy? Like, are you ever, what's the word? Are you ever content? Like, are you ever like okay with, I don't know. Like obviously there's things that like people do that like bother me or I don't agree with, but I'm not going to let it just like consume me. Like you have to move on at some point. Or like people that hold grudges like no other, like just move on. I don't hold grudges like ever. Like it's very hard for me to like not like somebody or hold a grudge because you need to realize there are so many different opinions in this world, okay? And not everybody's going to agree with every single thing that you do. But whenever you like go to hang out with somebody and everything that comes out of their mouth is talking shit about somebody else or it's negative or they are complaining about every little thing or I can't do it. I literally am like, uh, I don't know like how you're like this. It like bothers me. And as I'm sitting here talking shit about people that talk shit, um, I'm a hypocrite if you're wondering. No, but I have like a handful of friends, like 3 or 4 friends that are like my people, because whenever I am with those people, we talk about happy things. We are laughing with each other. We don't sit and talk shit about people. We talk about our life experiences and what we're doing with our life and positive things. And like I like to keep those people close because I actually like thoroughly enjoy being around them because they're not bad people. But then there's like those other people that you are with them and they could just talk shit about one person for like 7 hours straight. I can't do drama. I can't do the shit talking. I can't do the gossip. It just like irks me. That is my biggest pet peeve is whenever people are just negative and talk crap about people all the time. Like get a life. Just be nice. Look at life differently. Like if you just change your mindset and think differently, your life will change. Like be happy. Like your life could be so much worse than what that girl did or what that girl wore or oh you don't like her makeup, why the
I'm not going to say the F word on here. I'm going to try really hard. Why the frick do you care? Like, why do you care? Like, it should not bother you if you don't like that girl's shirt. Or, oh, she talked in a weird tone. Or, oh, she rolled her eyes at me. Oh, she probably didn't, but you think you made it up in your head. Oh, those people that always say, oh, I know that she just rolled her eyes at me, or I'm like, oh my gosh, get over it. Just get over it. It shouldn't bother you that much. Holy shit. Anyway, yep, that's my biggest pet peeve. Just be happy, okay? Life could be so much worse. And sure, like, your problems, they matter too, but really, just stop. Next question. What was the hardest part of transitioning from an in-home daycare to an out-of-home daycare? Honestly, I think that I thought that moving my daycare out of my home would make it so like my house is always clean and like there's no spaghetti splattered on my walls anymore, or I'll never have dishes again. Actually, I feel like it's made it harder to keep my house clean, because at least whenever the daycare kids used to go down for a nap or I had some free time, I could hurry up and like throw in a load of laundry, fold the clothes and like put them away, or do dishes really quickly before they woke up. But now, like, I leave my house and it'll be absolutely destroyed, and I go to my daycare and I have so much to do at my house. And then I come home and it's still destroyed after cleaning my out of home daycare all day long. And then, so yeah, like, I think that I thought things would be better. Like, sure, it has been nice to not have my daycare in my home. And I think overall I like it out of my house more. John specifically likes it out of my house more. But I feel like there's so much to do at my house that I never get done. I don't know. But I also like there's a part of me that loves leaving at the end of the day, or at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, but there's also a part of me that's like, I do not want to drive again. I'm so sick of driving. So, just, I can never be, I don't know. I am ready to just be done with daycare overall. I've loved it. I said this, but I'm very ready. I'm very, very ready to just pick what I do. Rue, if you ring that bell right now, I'm not going to be happy. Don't look at me like that. Don't ring the bell. And the groceries. Oh my gosh. Like, I would shop at my house and I would just have all the groceries here. And now it's like I go grocery shopping and I have to figure out what ones are for my daycare, what ones are for at my house. Oh, and also Callan, he would probably sleep every day till like 7:30 and I have to wake him up at 6. No, Rue, stop it. Don't ring the bell. And I know it's not to go outside, little shit. Anyway, forgot what I was talking about, so we're gonna go to the next question. If I ever went back to school, what would it be for? Nursing. It would probably still be for nursing. I do think, like, I always think about this. Like, I do think that I would have been an amazing nurse. I think that I would have enjoyed my job. But if I stuck with nursing school, like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Like, everything happens for a reason. I probably wouldn't have social media or like my own, like, I wouldn't be a content creator. Life would be different. Like, obviously I've made it far with content creation, I think, because I was a daycare provider. Like, I think, like, there wasn't a lot of daycare providers on TikTok whenever I started posting. I think I was like the first or second daycare provider to ever start posting my stuff. I mean, obviously there's other people, but like on TikTok, I never saw other daycare providers. And then, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start posting about my daycare. And so I feel like that it went viral because there isn't a lot of that already. And I think a lot of people that try to start social media, they start posting like day in my life and that kind of stuff. But there's already millions of people posting that kind of stuff. So it's just like they scroll because, oh, I just saw that in the post above. So they don't make it far unless you have like the personality for it, or really good like filming content, or you're just good at it. Like, you're not going to make it far on social media. But I think about that. Like, if I would have stuck with nursing school, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But if this all goes out the window, my kids are in school, I am bored, I'm like sick of being at home, I would probably go back for nursing. I am very, very passionate about like labor and delivery, and I would love to be a labor and delivery nurse. Or I would maybe get my doula again. I was a doula for a couple of years, but then COVID hit, so I didn't get to like stick with being it. I probably could have, but it was hard with opening a daycare. Like, you almost have to be just a doula, not a daycare provider and a doula. Next question. what do I plan to do if I don't do daycare long term? I've kind of talked about this in this podcast already, but I don't plan on ever going back to daycare. And maybe like there will be a time whenever I like miss it, but I feel like I'll never open my own daycare again. If I do daycare again, it will probably be like a preschool or like some kind of like program. But I feel like even whenever my kids go to school, I'll be like the mom that volunteers in the classes, and I'll be part of like I just remember whenever I was in elementary school, there was always a couple of moms that were always at the school, like helping out with like party days and like field trips and all of that kind of stuff. And I plan to be that mom. Like I'll in my free time, I'll be able to go and do that kind of stuff with my kids. But I like as of right now, I don't ever plan on working again, only doing content creation. I just plan on literally being a mom and not working and just, yeah, social media, I guess. But you guys, I'm so nervous right now to end this podcast because I'm like so scared that the first 45 minutes of my podcast didn't save and John is going to be home any minute. Let's track his location. Yes, I track his location. Leave me alone. You know, back in the day, he worked like 40 minutes from our house, and in the wintertime, I had to make sure he made it to work okay. And this app is just on Find My on my phone. If you don't track your loved ones' locations, you don't love them, okay? Just kidding. But it's so nice. Oh no, he's in town. He is literally 8 miles away. My goal was to get done with my podcast before he got home because I just want to hang out with him because I haven't seen him in like 3 or 4 days. And I just want to hang out with him and Callan and do our own thing and not worry about my dang podcast. But I'm literally going to throw up, puke, shit my pants, cry if if the first half didn't save because hopefully it saved. Anyway, I still haven't come up with an outro for my podcast. Let's ask ChatGPT again because I already forgot, but I feel like I just need to come up with the exact same thing every single time, and it should just be simple. Like, well, thanks for joining me today on my podcast, guys. I really enjoyed talking with you. Come back for more because, oops, I'm talking again. No, that's dumb. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I guess if the first half didn't finish recording or save, I will be restarting and talking to you guys again. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon, or I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good day.